We wanted to have a conference with as little paperwork as possible, so we thought the best way to find out how you found the event would be an online survey. You'll be sent a link to this soon, and in the meantime, here's your feedback so far.
I think the things that I've most enjoyed today and have been most inspiring is hearing from the young people. I think that events like this make it very, very real when you hear from young people, and so that's made it very, very worthwhile this morning and makes it very hard-hitting.
I found the videos that were presented by young people particularly inspiring, and anything that puts young people at the centre of the work, and the work of Young Devon is just fantastic. So yeah, all young people's involvement, that's particularly inspiring.
I think the day has gone really well, and actually it's been very good for my emotional health and well-being, and I think it's positive being around so many interested and engaged people, and I've got lots of thoughts and ideas about how the work that I do around person-centred practice can support emotional health and well-being amongst young people and adults.
The young people's contributions, particularly the young woman who spoke about being ordinary but still having problems.
The thing I found most inspiring is the personal witness from the young people. Their stories are absolutely compelling, and it's a tribute to their energy, enterprise, resilience, that they're able to stand in front of this mixed group of people, mostly adults they don't know, and speak up so eloquently for what young people can achieve. So it's been an inspiring morning.
I think what was really inspiring was to hear about the work that's been going on over so many years, and how it's progressed and how it's diversified into a whole range of support that young people can access.
That's one that really needs some reflection, but I think that finding out where the gaps are between what the Minister intends and what actually hits the ground and how we fill those is something that I've found myself thinking about a lot.
I think in my job, where we're looking at redesigning services and making services better, I think the biggest thing that we can do is really listen and hear young people's points of view and put that into practice. So I think it's about how we continue to do that and not lose that when kind of things are tight and budgets are being squeezed.
Personally, I think we just need to pick up on what is being promoted here this morning, in joining all of this work together, promoting very strongly the excellent work that is already being achieved and how that can be replicated and developed further, by encouraging the general public to actually acknowledge what is being done by Young Devon and its young people, so that there is greater understanding and support coming forward to make that support for the future.
As a doctor, I'd like to know a lot more about what's out there so that I can be more effective in signposting people and empowering them to sort their problems out for themselves, which will probably be much more effective in the long term. And I think I need to spend more time talking to young people and not their parents.
Well, my service works with young people, and I think what's coming through from the event itself is that real importance on focusing on young people's emotional health and well-being, which, if they have support with that, can then impact so much on other areas of their lives. So we specifically work with young people who have offended or are at risk of offending, and it's working within that and recognising their emotional health and well-being needs as well. So I'd like to go on and explore that further. We already do quite a lot of that work, but I think there's more that we can do, and getting young people's views in on that as well.
There's nothing I particularly want to share with other delegates today, but I think the biggest thing that delegates can hear today is around young people needing the continuum of services, right from universal through to crisis intervention, because I think that's the thing that's getting missed at the moment, and I'm worried that people like Charlotte, who we heard from earlier, are not going to be able to get the service they need because that's not going to be available to them. So that's the biggest message that I want people to hear, is around the fact that we still need to have universal and early intervention services, otherwise we're going to be spending a lot of money on crisis stuff.
Yes, I guess the importance of the health and well-being agenda itself. It often comes way down the agenda on other people's lists, but today's made it important because it is a very important agenda.
I suppose that we need to champion the value of youth work and the continuing value of youth work, and not to let us take our eyes off that future horizon really, and that actually we need to maintain professional youth work. Even amongst the big society, we really need to make sure that there's structures to keep youth workers in post, so that all that valuable work with young people continues to happen in a safe and protected environment.
The importance of talking to each other as organisations. We've just been talking ourselves about how important it is that all the agencies truly work together. Despite the stresses that we're all under as organisations to protect ourselves, we must always put the young person first, and it does mean sometimes taking hard decisions about our own priorities. So joined up working, the famous phrase, is truly important. Joint projects and events and enterprises that link us all together would be good.
And I think picking up on the opportunity we have now, the crisis is causing people to rethink the way we do our work. But out of that rethinking, there will be opportunities for innovation, for new to come forward. And that's something that we need to pick up the baton and run with, rather than be afraid of it.
I think what's really come out of today for me is the amount of really good work that's gone on over the last few years. Inspirational work really with young people that's going on. And my main concern is that we can make sure that we don't lose that. As we've heard from the Minister, we're moving into a new world of less funding, innovative, creative ways of working, big society. Whilst we do that, in that phase of transition, that we don't lose the good work we've got ongoing already. So it's about moving forward, but not throwing out babies with bathwater and allowing young people to fall into gaps, the most vulnerable young people we need to continue to support.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I mean, really, the whole process began like 4 or 5 months ago, where you think, oh, wouldn't it be good to do something like today and get people talking about young people's emotional health and well-being, and you have all these aspirations, and you think, who's got what to say, and everybody has loads of different bits to contribute, but you're always a bit worried that something's going to go wrong at the last minute, or that people are going to, trip over the mic or whatever else it might be. But actually, the warmth of so many people here, it doesn't matter whether from Young Devon, local authority, elsewhere, it's just been fantastic. And the number of people who have come up have also said, it's really great to have young people's voices throughout the day being heard. It's so easy for us to kind of just have us talking heads talking about social policy or about cuts in government services, but actually when you've got young people giving it as it is, then that brings it to life and reminds us why we're all doing this job that we are doing.